Hello, everybody, and welcome back once again to another episode of Final Whistle. Kevin Walsh alongside David Giacomino. Yeah, we're going to be trying something a little different here. Just going to kind of wing it, freelance a little bit. No laptops, no phones, coming in with scripts and knowing exactly what we're going to say. We're just going to kind of talk sports. I think it's safe to say right now we are in the spoiled part of the sports season. I mean, baseball is just starting. March Madness did just end, but we just had that going on. The NHL playoffs, if you're into that, are starting tonight, which is actually really exciting because last year I found, a big liking for the NHL throughout the playoffs. And if you like soccer, you have the Champions League going on right now. The NFL draft is approaching. The NBA playoffs are right on the horizon. I mean, we are spoiled for choice. That's kind of the reason why we don't really have a set topic today. We're just kind of got to talk. Just whatever comes to our minds, we're just going to talk.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the best times of the year because we really have everything going on at once, and it's kind of like you have to pick and choose what you want to watch.
Absolutely.
It's like, the Islanders are on tonight, but, you got baseball, you got the Mets, you got the Yankees. You got everything going on. The basketball playoffs are about to start. The regular season is just ending.
Yeah, the basketball players are crazy right now. You have out
out west.
Oh my goodness.
The 2, 3, 4, 5 seeds.
And the six.
Spurs can lose a game and possibly drop 3 spots.
Yeah. The Clippers yesterday won, and all of a sudden were the 2 seed. They were like 5th for a month. It's insane.
I'll tell you what, though. Talk about the Spurs. The Spurs went from about last month and a half. They were this a steady 7 seed. They're like, oh, this is the year. Like they're dropping out.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't seen anything. And all of a sudden, they win 20 games.
Yeah, they're like, just screw it.
Let's just stop. We can stop playing now.
And you know what's crazy though? It's like the Spurs hot streak is something that people paying attention to. You know why those Clippers are on the 2 seed? They've won 14 out of their last 15 games.
Exactly, and no one's the play of Chris Paul. Like, there's some talk about putting him in the MVP race.
Yeah, it might be a little late for him to get in there, but
I definitely think it's a late to get in. And I think the MVP race is really just come down to 2 or 3 players.
I think there are 4 players you can make legitimate cases for. I said Westbrook because just not having Durant, the rest of that roster.
First of all,
make the playoffs.
Before you go on, Westbrook, what's your feeling? 50-some points, yeah, but he took 43 shots.
But he shot. It was 49% from the
field.
I
will say that he did shoot a good percentage from the field.
That's the thing. Yeah, that's what you have to understand. What I did. I looked up. Kobe took 46 shots tonight. He scored 81. So you're saying to yourself, "Oh, that's terrible." Then on Westbrook's part. What the thing was, first of all, Westbrook had about 9 assists.
Yeah.
Okay, that's insane.
And
I'm sorry to cut you off, but secondly, Kobe had about 20 to 30 free throw attempts that day. And, Westbrook just wasn't getting to the line. Westbrook, he shot a good percentage. He's got his teammates involved, and he's just trying his heart out, man.
And I don't think it's really Westbrook being selfish. I think he just wants to win so badly that he's just willing. He's willing to do anything possible to get the win. And I love KD live tweeting the games. Like, oh yeah, you go Westbrook. He's encouraging the team and everything.
You want to talk about something crazy? Did you see this Steph Curry thing?
Oh my God! Yes,
77 threes in a row, 94 out of 100.
That was, that's crazy.
That's unrealistic, dude.
And the thing about Stephen Curry with the MVP, I don't really like how people say, "Oh, he's on such a good team," but he makes them such a good team.
His efficiency is LeBron James-esque. He is so efficient.
Yeah, and just people always talk about the MVP race. If you take them off the team and see how would they do it, they go. If you take Steph Curry off the Warriors, they would still be pretty good. But yeah, they wouldn't have 60 wins.
Honestly, how good would they really be? All of a sudden, you take Steph Curry off. Who's their primary ball handler? Klay Thompson needs to play off the basketball. Andre Iguodala isn't the same. Harrison Barnes, these guys get to play in more limited roles and be so explosive because Steph Curry takes so much off that makes their life so easy.
Exactly. So why isn't he getting more consideration for the MVP? It's basically being handed to James Harden. Yes, he's having an outstanding.
I wouldn't even say that, though, because a lot of people are unsure if they're going to give it to James Harden. I just think that with him missing, Dwight, it's a big thing. But, dude, I mean, to me, there are 4 people who could be given the MVP, and I wouldn't have a problem with any of them.
Yeah.
The 4th being LeBron. And I think you have to it makes sense.
I think LeBron takes a hit on the MVP race because it's not one of his LeBron-like seasons where he's having a crazy season that you just have to give him the MVP.
What it is that LeBron normally is so head and shoulders above everyone else that when other people are in the conversation, you're like, oh, well, LeBron's dropping down, that means. So whenever someone else can compete, then they just don't give it to him.
Exactly. And J.R. Smith said this the other day. I don't know if you heard what he was saying. It's like, why isn't LeBron getting considered? He's still LeBron James. Just because it's LeBron James and he's not having like the years he's been had in past. Oh, he's so all of a sudden fallen off. And
no, I mean, look at it.
I don't like that.
Heat missed the playoffs. Cavs won 52 games.
Exactly. That was the exact point.
And I think that's. That's definitely something that you have to, take into account. I don't think he's going to get it. I would say, honestly, out of the 4, he'd be the last one I gave it to.
Yeah, me too.
But I think he still deserves that recognition.
Yeah,
100%.
Definitely, because how, like we were just saying, how good would the Cavs be if they didn't have LeBron?
Here's a good question, though, because we were talking about, the movement in the West. Who would you be more excited to get that 8th seed, Pelicans or Thunder, mainly because who would you want to watch more? Anthony Davis for the first time, or Westbrook, taking 70 shots in the playoffs?
The more exciting players, Westbrook. Anthony Davis is a rising star. There's no doubt about it. But just Westbrook he's so exciting to watch because you just don't know what he's gonna do, and he can go for a triple double. He can go for 40. You just don't know what to expect, and that's what I love about him.
Thunder,
he's such a good player.
I'll tell you right now, Thunder get in 40 points per game.
Yeah, they're not going to be
in the playoffs. 40 points per game against the Warriors.
He's gonna come out. He's gonna come out to play.
Absolutely, man.
I would love to see Westbrook, but there's no way they're going to win.
Mm-hmm.
But he's actually been getting some help from Cantor. Deion Waiters, he's even been playing okay.
Did you just call him Cancer?
Cantor.
Oh, I thought you said cancer. I was like,
no,
what happened?
No.
Jeez.
Hearing things, Walsh.
I got all nervous. I was like, oh, no. Oh, okay. Yeah, Cantor. He does well.
Underrated player, but.
Absolutely. Let's even talk about NHL playoffs. I admit to not being the biggest NHL fan, to my own fault. But, when I watched hockey last year, dude, I was edging my seat.
I'll tell you what, NHL playoffs, maybe top two of all sports. Just watching the playoffs.
Who do you have in front of it?
I don't know. I want maybe football, but
I mean, this is what I think. I think that every sport has just its own flair to it. I mean, is there really anything that can compare to an overtime hockey?
Yeah, I think that's the thing.
But even can anything compare to an overtime NBA playoff game? How about those extra innings in an MLB playoff game, dude? It's just playoffs are beautiful. And right now you have NBA and NHL playoffs coming. Honestly, if you're any type of sports fan, turn the TV on.
But I just think the NBA takes a hit in the playoffs because a lot of the times in the first couple of rounds,
100%.
You know who's gonna win.
Oh, absolutely.
That's why it takes such a hurt. And you know who's gonna win when it comes to those first couple of rounds. Maybe in the conference finals, as you say, it can go either way. With these NHL playoffs, you just don't know.
I will say, though, out west, other than I'm very confident the Warriors will beat whoever the 8th seed is, you kind of got to feel like out west it's really not a clear-cut winner in any of those series. And you can maybe hope that, if the East, through drafting and, building, the East becomes like that. And then, dude, imagine that. Imagine, both sides, both conferences being as competitive.
Yeah. That's something we've really been lacking at recent years. And
yeah.
I think it has potential to come back with maybe the Knicks having a top pick. The Sixers are going to have another top pick. So we really have this potential there to get a lot better.
Yeah. Now, here's another thing, though. I was just talking about here. Champions League. I've become actually I'm not going to say a big soccer fan, but I'm really, really into the sport. I love NYCFC. Been trying to follow them a lot. I play FIFA nonstop, and that's a big reason why I've gotten so much into the sport. And I'm curious, do you think that Champions League, if I even say that, do you know what I mean when I say Champions League? Do you know about Champions League?
I know the top tier teams.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not as big a soccer guy as you are. I'm a guy that knows the big.
You know the names.
Tiers. Yeah, I know
the
big
top guys.
Yeah.
You know Real Madrid and stuff like that.
I know. I'll know Messi, Ronaldo. I know what the teams and they're on and stuff. I don't know the mid tier, teams and players.
Now, but what are your thoughts on even because like I think a lot of it for me stemmed from the World Cup, and that's where I gained a lot of enjoyment for the sport. And I mean, like, would you be open to say watching a 90-minute soccer match where you might have the score be 0-0?
That's always been the big thing for me. Like soccer World Cup time, I'll watch it. No.
Mm-hmm.
Just the thing is, the notion of me watching an entire club soccer game and there might not be any scoring it's not very exciting.
I'll tell you, you have to try and get the good games and the important ones. I wouldn't try and sell you on watching a Liga BBVA game where it's literally anything other than El Clasico, which is Barcelona versus Real Madrid.
Yeah.
But I tell you, Dave, I think this current round of Champions League, I believe it's the quarter, it's the Elite Eight. The matchups aren't as grabbing. Real Madrid drew yesterday against Atletico. Right now, though, Bayern Munich's a powerhouse. That's like literally almost the entire German national team. They're losing to a team that's mid-tier, which is kind of cool. But I tell you, Dave, I challenge you: semifinals of Champions League, watch a game.
I'll give it a go.
Sit down, watch a game if you want. You come over to the room, watch the game. We'll skip Tim Burgess's class.
Yeah.
Nah, obviously we'll not. Of course, we'll be there.
Can't do that. Can't do that. He's such a good teacher, right?
No, but we'll definitely end up going. And I'm telling you, you watch it and you'll start to really appreciate the game. It is a beautiful game, and I think it's really fun to watch.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Anytime good, when you watch good soccer, then you just like, oh, wow, what a play. I'm always down. Always see like crazy plays happen, and I'm like, whoa, that was sick.
I'm dragging you to an NYCFC game.
Oh, I got
this summer, whether you like it or not.
I said I had to make it out.
Whether you like it,
I wanted to go to at least one game.
Yeah, you got it, dude. You got it, man.
I gave him a follow on Twitter when they happened. I gave him a follow.
That's huge.
I was.
Did they follow back?
Nah.
No. You got to DM them or something.
I know. It's tough, It's tough. Hey, I can't DM if they don't follow back.
That's true.
So
That's
it's
true.
tough.
Yeah, just favorite everything they tweet. See what happens.
I just keep tweeting at them. Give me a follow. Come on, give me a follow.
Follow for follow.
Number one fan. Number one fan.
Number one fan. Couldn't name a player.
I've been here since day one. When you started the account, I've been here since day one.
Oh my goodness.
I'll tell you what though. This needs to be talked about if we're freelancing.
Yeah, we are.
The intent. Watching the Met games. I have my Met jersey on. I had to wear it today.
Yeah. Just very excited. He looks like a kid who went to his first ever game.
Yeah, I went on Monday. I was there for the home opener. I was unfortunately couldn't make it yesterday. Just the atmosphere of the game was something I've never seen before. It was the fans were going crazy. They were slapping each other's hands. They were going nuts. I've never seen that at a Met game in years, and it's just really nice to see that everybody's just coming out to the ballpark. And I want to see people keep coming even when Harvey doesn't pitch.
Oh yeah,
it's unreal just to see them play.
I'll tell you, it's a franchise like the Mets where they're in a big market city, and they've been bad for years. When people start to get that glimmer of hope, you can't get them to leave the ballpark, man.
I'll tell you what. Yesterday, watching the game, Matt Harvey threw his first pitch. It was right down the middle, strike, 98-mile-per-hour fastball. When the umpire was like strike one, the crowd roared. It roared. It was like a playoff game. That's how loud it was. It was crazy. And then unfortunately, 2 batters later, Chase Elliott hit a home run, and the crowd was dead quiet. But still, though, throughout the games, let's go, let's Harvey. Even when Harvey hit Chase Elliott, the crowd loved that one. They loved that one.
Oh yeah, I think that's something that baseball needs. It needs that rivalry, that edge. I mean, I tell you, baseball was, I'm not gonna say the golden era, but oh man, it was some exciting TV every time. You knew when those Yankees Red Sox games were on, you had to watch.
Speaking of Yankees Red Sox, they were on Sunday Night Baseball on Sunday. I tuned in. I'm a baseball guy. Any baseball that's on, I'm always tuning in. Just I was when I turned the game on, there was nobody there. It was at Yankee Stadium. Yankees Red Sox. That's unheard of. There was nobody there.
I'll tell you why. It's because a lot of Yankees fans are spoiled,
and
they're so used to their winning ways that they haven't gone through those hardships that the Mets fans have of sitting through terrible baseball. They're not used to it, and they're seeing terrible baseball, and they're not going to even bother to put it on their television sets, let alone to make the trip to the ball game.
This is the big thing that I said coming into this season. If, in fact, the Yankees do have a bad season, they don't play as well, the last 2 seasons, they had a reason to come to the ballpark. They had the last sights of Mariano Rivera 2 years ago, and then last year, Derek Jeter. This year, there's nothing. I can't think of a reason to go to the ballpark if they are bad. And
I could think of one.
What's that? Tanaka?
No.
A-Rod? Oh
yeah.
Gosh. He's there. He's going to be there for 2 more years.
Dude, you listen. You give the man his credit. He's looked real good so far. He's been our best player.
Oh, I'm not going to lie. He's been better than what I expected. But I did see a stat that he has 1 hit off of pitches that are not fastballs. And
what does it matter?
No.
Fastballs.
I was about to say, hey, kudos to him. He's getting that fastball. He's getting his pitch, and he's hitting it. And I'm not going to criticize him because he has done well. He's batted 3rd. He's batted 4th. He's batted 5th. Batted 7th. Yeah, like Girardi, pick a spot.
Yeah.
Let him pitch.
And A-Rod he's just delivering. I mean, he's hitting 300. He's got a homer already. A-Rod right now is the best player in pinstripes.
I totally agree with that, and he's just many people surprised. He's surprised me, and I'm happy to see it. Hopefully he's not taking any more steroids, but no, it's still really it's really nice to see that he's able to come back after a year, and he's been playing better than the rest of the players. But the Yankees, they need to have 2 hits in a row. I've watched their games; they haven't had 2 hits in a row. It's like all their runs have come off home runs, and they need to have a rally.
Chicks dig the long ball.
Yeah. But you ever hear the expression "home runs a rally killer"? That's how it is.
Yeah.
That's how it is. Home runs, a rally killer, and they're hitting the 2-run shot, but what comes after that?
Yeah, it's always nice to have that guy on second base.
Yeah, and Steven Drew hit a grand slam.
Woo! My man, Stevie Drew.
Wow. Brett Gardner got hit by a pitch. They had the pitch hit Steven Drew. I was like, wow. Steven Drew's coming up. This inning's over. I
was like, oh, cool.
This inning's long
then
over.
Max one. Wow.
What? I was like, all right, it's gonna drop and he's gonna be a double. What? I went over the fence.
I was like, wow.
What?
It was awesome though. It's awesome. I tell you, I am like, I don't know. I think when I first got up to college, I think it was a little bit of an adjustment, and not that the workload's crazy, but I think just with a combination of procrastinating through other things and just work and stuff like that, not that I lost touch with sports, but I don't think I was involved as much as I want to be. And that's why I kind of wanted to do this freelance thing, because I kind of wanted to put it into perspective as how much there is to enjoy. But, I mean, dude, you can catch me almost every 5 minutes just looking up something new on sports. I'm on Bleacher Report nonstop.
Every 5 minutes, me and you debating about something that, we think we're right on.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, and, we'll have the back and forth, but that's what makes it so fun.
10 minutes ago, we were debating Rangers Islanders. 5 games, 7 games.
We will debate anything, but there's just so much to debate. I guarantee you. You mark it here. This kid will start debating soccer with me. Yeah. He's going to start telling me I'm wrong. Doesn't know a thing. He's going to start telling me I'm wrong.
Hey, I'm always right, and you're always wrong. That's just the way it is.
But you know what? I think it's beautiful. Right now I've been checking those Champions League scores. Tonight I'm probably gonna go over to the smokehouse here over in right down the block. Get myself maybe a nice burger. Sit down, watch the Ranger game. Hopefully they put some of the NBA games on too.
Allen.
Oh, that's not my Islander games. I apologize. And I mean, dude, there's a lot of. There's just so many good things that you could watch right now. Like Mets are so exciting. The potential downfall of the Yankees. Tavares versus Ovechkin is great.
I'll tell you what, with Tavares, I don't know if you saw it, but I'm not on the chance. I was watching intensely. The last game of the season, Tavares was right at the top of the points. 2 minutes left in the game. Tavares scores. All right, he's ahead. He's ahead in points. He's top.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie Benn. I don't know if you know him. Oh, They played him the last 6 minutes of the game, and he scored with .8 seconds left to take over the top.
Other points?
Yes.
And what team is he on now? I'm not really very familiar.
What team is he on?
Just to look it up. It was in the game that you were watching.
I know. I'm blanking out. I know Jamie Benn. Jamie Benn's one of my best.
Is he on the Stars?
Yes, that's what he is.
See, I actually do know things. I do know things.
Yes. He's on the Stars. I don't know why I blanked out on that.
I do know things.
Jason Spezza, those are my guys on the Stars. They played him the last 6 minutes of the game to get him that point, and he got the point with .8 seconds left. And I was like, give the Islanders something. Give the Islanders something. Because they had a rough stretch to end the year. And, you know, it was nice to have Tavares have that point, the top points. And like, I don't know if he was going to win the MVP anymore because the Islanders kind of collapsed at the end. It was crushing. It was crushing. The fact that they lost the last game of the season the way they did, and then they lost the points on top of that, I was like, come on.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we'll close on this note. These things are supposed to be like 5 minutes long. It's 20 minutes.
No, it's always happens with us.
But we'll close on this note. Anyone who's watching this, I challenge you to watch NHL playoffs. I challenge you to watch Champions League. I challenge you to watch a Mets game, watch a Yankees game, watch the NBA playoffs, watch the NFL draft. Whatever it is, get into it, dude. Because right now, sports are beautiful.
It's a great time right now.
You can't flip through the channel without seeing something that won't grab your eye. I promise you.
Yeah, you can't go wrong right now at this time. This is the best time of the year, in my opinion.
Yeah. The debate-free episode, just
wow.
The beauty of sports, man. Well, we'll see you guys next week. Kevin Walsh, Dave Giacomino. It's been a Final Whistle.